The Morning Sports Desk, available on demand on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, and WadenaRadio.com.
It is the Morning Sports Desk on a Monday, the 2nd of December. I'm CJ Baumgartner. There's Corey Tackman. In the middle is our guy Zeke, who's built himself a nice little home up in the nest. The grand opening, the ribbon-cutting ceremony was this morning over at Staples-Motley Schools, and Zeke going to his alma mater to give us a little coverage of the big event. Zeke, what was that? First of all, just kind of give us your opening statement on this place.
It's awesome to see this plan of so many years finally come to fruition. As you can see the gym kind of behind me. I don't think I can turn my camera around, but I'll start hitting up this sweet walking track they have around here. This is the Old South gym at Staples-Motley High School. It's a gym that I grew up playing pickleball in for ping pong and all that stuff. This is my old high school gym, and to see what it has become, the new permanent home for basketball and wrestling and all that stuff is awesome. To see how they recreated this space, how they utilized that space. Time for second period. It's awesome. Some of the cool things they did with the permanent building that was here, built like 40 years ago, they had to, as you can see behind me, the walking track. So this side is the old exterior wall of the building, and this side is new stuff. They weren't able to quite, I don't know, they did to weave in and out of the old gym. Lunch menu time. I'll keep walking. So over on this side is where the legacy gym is. This side is the new nest powered by Lakewood Health Systems. It's connected. You can get from one to the other very easily, and it's awesome.
All right, let's get some highlights of the new facility. What we got? I know seating, flooring. New facility.
Yeah, new everything in here. I'm kind of behind it now. I was going to show off the new video board. It's a 200,000 video board, paid entirely by First National Bank and Trust. It's the largest video board that this company has installed in a high school this size. So it is awesome. We're coming up to the weight room here, so I'll pop in here real quick. So on the second level is the new weight room, a community fitness center that Lakewood clients and patients can come rehab in if they've had knee surgery, hip replacement, shoulder surgery, rotator cuff stuff. Actually, we'll take a peek in here too. There's a couple dudes in here, but behind me.
Oh, nice.
We'll pop in here quick. So this is the Lakewood area with all the fitness machines, the mirror. All this stuff. So this is available for community use.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you can come utilize the walking track. You can see the snow is flying in Staples here. It's freezing cold outside, but the community can come utilize this walking track. And that's one thing that Shane Taffy emphasized during his address at the ribbon cutting was that this is not just for high school students. This is a community effort to get this building done. I think Lakewood donated the last $6 million to this project to get this facility up and running, and it's for everyone to use.
Awesome. Zeke, with that, you talk about everything that's going on, especially with, Staples-Motley wrestling being as good as they are, with Staples-Motley football, of course, going to a prep bowl. This just feels like it's been a good run for Staples-Motley athletics and a really good time to unveil this facility, right?
It has, yeah. We keep getting spoiled here with Staples-Motley. It's awesome. I'm in the new weight room now. One of the cool stories with this new building is one of the designers is Andrew Barnett. He was a 2002 grad of Staples-Motley High School, played football, played basketball, did all that stuff, and he had to overcome the old facilities, including the old weight room, which was kind of in the basement behind the math department in the old high school building. And for him to be able to help with this vision and help design it and design the walking track and design this new state-of-the-art weight room, which is also on the second level here.
Wow, cool, man.
Awesome.
It's just leaps and bounds ahead of the old one.
Yeah, it looks like a nice. There's some free weights in there. There looked like there was some machines upstairs that the community could use. Again, like CJ mentioned, to be able to ride the high of what's happening athletically at Staples-Motley lately, to be able to put this cherry on top of that, you can only see how things would the potential to grow for those programs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the sky's the limit right now. It's state-of-the-art facility. We're going to go downstairs here quick. One of the cool things about this, that's a huge upgrade from the Legacy Gym, is there's an elevator to get to the second level, which I don't think they had one. We'll take the stairs down. We can walk today.
Yeah, you're really getting your steps in today.
I am, dude. I took like 600 over the entire weekend, so I'm paying the piper today.
What's been the process of this, Zeke, to get to the grand opening today? It's been a process, right?
It has been. I think the conversation started about 5 years ago and failed referendums, and it didn't look like this project was going to get done. They had some money stashed away. New facilities definitely needed. And then Lakewood stepped up and put in that last $6 million to make it happen. We're on the gym floor now here. I'll show you this video board behind me. Check this sucker out.
Wow.
Look at that. That is, it like takes up the entire wall, man.
That's amazing.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Cool. Yeah, it's
seating.
I don't know what to say. It's awesome.
Seating on one side, so the where they have the chairs set up looks like, is that where like basketball teams will sit on the opposite
I think
side?
That's where basketball teams will sit. Yep. Other side behind me is the pull-out bleacher seating.
Yeah.
With the SF there, yeah. So that's where fans will go, and this is kind of the new Heart of Lakes banners are all there.
Very cool. Oh, that's great, man.
Yeah, and it looks like obviously
the walking track weaving in and out.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, and it looks like some room for some extra stuff in there too. So it looks awesome in there, Zeke.
Yeah, and that's not all. We haven't seen the wrestling room yet.
Oh, there's the wrestling
out and back down the hall here.
Do they wrestle at Staples? They do wrestle at that school?
A little bit. I can go down here and you can see all the wrestling trophies.
Yeah.
So if we go down here, so behind me is the Legacy Gym. So it's just one straight shot hallway.
Sure.
To get to both.
As you walk to the wrestling room, Zeke, what's the timeline for actually getting games and events in the new gym?
I haven't talked to Josh or Shane yet. I walked by Shane. I can ask him on my way back through, but I would assume that as soon as we can, it seems like it's ready to go.
Yeah.
The ribbon has been cut.
Sure. Because girls basketball has already played a few games. They played that in the Legacy Gym, I know.
Yeah.
So okay, that's exciting. That's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Yeah. So I'm in the wrestling room now, which is also connected. It's got that fresh wrestling room smell. It doesn't stink yet.
It doesn't have that smell of hard work and mainly sweat, right?
Exactly. I've never smelt a wrestling room smell this nice before. Got your bikes there. It is just it's enormous.
Well, and that's the thing about a lot of wrestling rooms. Sometimes run into the problem of them getting a little cramped. They got a lot of space in there to do a lot of stuff.
They do, yeah. Because I think before they were on the second or third floor of the old building. And this was 20 years ago. I'm not sure where they've been wrestling in the interim, but it's been crazy. I haven't been back in here yet. I don't know what's over here. Should we explore it together?
Yes.
Oh, we're back in the
doors. Open doors. Say employees.
Exactly. Or we're back in the main gym.
Oh, look at how it's all connected.
So it's all connected.
Very cool.
Very
PA system and video audio stuff there for the video board and all that stuff. And yeah, this is awesome, guys.
Most important question here, Zeke. When Corey does his first game of the season for basketball, or for Staples-Motley basketball, I should say, Friday, December 13th, they host Monaga on KNSP. Where is he going to be broadcasting from?
That is an excellent question. Wherever he wants to.
Yes. Take him to the corner.
Midcourt.
Yes. Stick him on the logo.
Yeah. If you hit the broadcasters 50 points, you win the game.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like catching the switch in Quidditch. If you hit Corey in the head, you get 50 points and the game is over.
Joke's on you. I'll be moving my head to get hit.
Exactly. Yeah, he wants to go home. Let me see if I can find. Let's see. So if I had to pick, well, he's kind of got his pick of the litter because he has the walking track upstairs, so we could find a cool spot up there.
Yep.
There is this spot, this little perch right here.
Mm-hmm.
That could be good. Otherwise, sit at the scores table with Brian or wherever you want to go. But
is that going to operate as a scoreboard also, the video board? And are there scoreboards on each sideline also?
There is one over here.
Okay.
And there's two each side. Yep, there's one.
Yep. A baseline.
Yep. Each side, a base. Yep. And I'm assuming that'll be utilized for that too.
Cool.
Which here we have Josh Lee. We can just go. We can ask Josh Lee these questions. He probably knows more than I do.
Well, no, probably not. Probably it's probably a definitive thing there.
He does. You're being put on the spot. Here he is.
Okay. Hey guys.
Here's the guy.
Hey Josh, how's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing pretty darn good. We were wondering where are we sticking Corey for some of these broadcasts for Cardinal basketball this winter?
Oh yeah. So if we turn a little bit, we'll go up here. So we'll put him up in the corner up there, probably where he belongs. So. No. Honestly, I mean that's the nice thing about the gym. There's a ton of open space up top that we can put people for a bigger event that, maybe like we're hosting a section game. We know that the bleachers are going to fill up. We can put some of our media people up top and give you a great view. Otherwise, the top of our bleachers is outfitted with outlets and all of those things. And then our score table is long enough that we're going to have space there too. So there's going to be multiple places throughout here that we can get people and give you really good vantage points.
Josh, tell me about that video board real quick.
Yeah, so it's a $200,000 donation from First International Bank and Trust. They wanted to do something special in here, and so we've kind of put our heads together and came up with that. So it's the largest video screen that this company's put in a gym, and so it's an impressive feat. When you walk in, it stands out right away. So it'll be a place that we can use for advertisement and things like that, but also just have a great viewing spot for our spectators coming in.
Hey, well, whether it's the corner or anywhere else, I'm looking forward to seeing it in a couple weeks. So we'll see you then, Josh.
We would love to have you over anytime. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Josh. All right, well, there you go. We're doing some investigative journalism here on
the spot. I'm utilizing that Mizzou master's degree in journalism right there. That's how the pros do it. Just walk up to the guy and blindside him with questions.
That's typically how it's done. It's just such an impressive facility, Zeke. And you had the opportunity, obviously, to talk to them a little bit earlier today. Just what was the vibe like for all of the Staples-Motley school officials and for the community members that were there? I know some people from Lakewood Health System were there as well. What was the vibe for that ribbon cutting ceremony from everybody?
It was packed in here. It was standing room only. They had school assembly, so there were students here. There were community members here. School board was all here. Some of my old teachers, old classmates, people that stuck around the community to see this come to fruition. I mean, my parents were here. My dad's the cross country coach here at Staples-Motley. My mom is a Staples-Motley alum as well, and she grew up playing, doing fight in this same gymnasium that I did. So I got to stand next to mom and watch them cut the ribbon on this new spot, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, just this community effort, like you talk about, with Lakewood coming in, First International Bank and Trust, and I'm sure there's others along the way. Just the, it's what you like to see in communities, and Staples-Motley isn't the first school to do this, but there's others around there as well. When you do some of this stuff, to have the community come together and to support that, I mean, how huge was that? How huge did they kind of talk about that?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, this isn't the first time we've seen a gym like this open in the area. Perham had the Hive open a handful of years ago. Detroit Lakes had the Lake Shirts Fieldhouse open a handful of years ago. And so the bar keeps getting raised for these gymnasiums and these athletic facilities. And Staples did their due diligence. And this place is going to be rocking for a long time here.
Yeah. And
go ahead. Go ahead.
One last thing for you, see. I mean, just with this today, I mean, outside of all this, everything we've been talking about, the important thing is this is all for the kids, and this is to give the kids a great environment to play sports, to compete, for ed classes like you talked about. Just, I mean, everything in this for the students. And what did they say about that, and just how important is that going to be for the students?
Well, the cool thing with opening the nest is Superintendent Shane Tappy didn't let any students in here prior to. I mean, when they walked in for their assembly this morning, it was the first time they had seen this facility. And so it was the community and it was the students seeing it for the first time, and to see, you know, the kindergartners walk in and just see what they get to grow up with, and seeing the seniors walk in and seeing where they get to compete this winter season, and just the pride from community members, especially Staples-Motley Cardinal pride is so high right now. I mean, going back to that Barnesville game for football a handful of weeks ago, there was an alumni sitting in the stands after the game, and I was walking by, and Alex Schultz came by and acknowledged him. And he said, "Hey, are you an alum?" The guy says, "Yep, class of 72. So good to see Staples-Motley football doing what they're doing." And so it's not just pride here in the community, but it's everywhere. And for everything that's happened in the last handful of weeks, from Audrey Burnell being the state cross country champion for Class A, to what the football team just pulled off with the Prep Bowl, and it's coming into the winter season where you got girls basketball has already started. They have a couple games in. Boys basketball gets started here pretty soon. I think games this week maybe. And then wrestling, of course, is ranked number 2 in Class A right now. So it's going to be an awesome winter season, and being able to do it in this building is just a cherry on top of all that.
Before we let you get out of here, Zeke, what I'm excited about too, just it's a small thing, but Stabika did this when they built their new gym. One of the defining features of going to a Stabika Trojans game and a Staples-Motley game was that everybody sat on the same side. And I love that they kept that signature of what it means to go to an event at that school. I just think it's a cool, unique. It just doesn't exist anywhere else. And in schools these size, where you can put all of the sound coming from one spot, and you build that wall of sound in the gymnasium when things are exciting. I love that feature that those two schools in Stabika and Staples-Motley decided to stick with. I think that's a really neat, unique a point of what they accomplished there in the nest.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of been the trademark of Staples-Motley sports for the last, I don't know, I think the Legacy Gym opened back in the 1940s, and it's always been up on that side with the stage on the other side, and that's just kind of what the tradition has been. And for them to honor that legacy, I'm trying to find my way to the Legacy Gym. I haven't been in this part of the school in 20 plus years.
You make it to the cafeteria, you went too far.
I think I hear basketball, so it must be over here. This must be the stage of the Legacy Gym. Explore with me.
It looks like that hallway looks familiar.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Here we go. We're going to impede on gym class a little bit here. Yeah, so you can walk right to the Legacy Gym, and here it is. Like you can see, everything's on that far side there, and it's just it's awesome.
Very cool. Very
Cool.
Zeke, anything else before we let you get out of here? What else do you want to get off your chest?
Excuse me. No, sorry guys. I'm getting in everyone's way here. I would say we go talk to Shane Tappy. I'm gonna go snag him real quick.
Perfect.
All right, you get ready to do that.
He's starting to do his dash like Corey down the sideline at US Bank Stadium.
That's not that athletic. We're gonna blindside him here. Got a couple seconds?
Sure.
All right.
Yes.
Yes, we're on with CJ and Corey here.
How we doing, guys?
Hey, well, how are you?
I'm good now. We got through the grand opening.
Give us the rundown. How was the grand opening of the nest?
Oh, it was awesome. It was a full house, standing room only. So there were community members and students, staff. It was just a great opportunity to showcase this space.
Yeah. And, obviously from the point of when you guys started this to now, obviously some, it kind of weaves, and obviously not everything goes as you plan, and normally doesn't when you end up doing some projects as ambitious as this. But to get from here to now, what is it like to kind of come out on the other side and get to open this building and all the work that everybody, not just you, but also people at the school and the community have put in to make this happen?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly was a team effort, and, the unity behind the community and the people that all came and supported today, but not just today, but through the entire process, because there were trials and tribulations as any construction project, but to be able to get to today was a pretty impressive feat. So we got great people doing great things.
Shane, Zeke gave us the grand tour already, so we've seen everything from the wrestling room to the weight rooms and the walking track and the video board and the gym. From your perspective, what's the favorite part? What's the best part in your opinion of the Nest?
I would say that video board is so impressive. I mean, to be able to have people watch from the walking track, be able to, we got about 700 seats in our bleachers, plus we're going to put some portables on each end to try to make it as much of a college atmosphere. But that video board and the capabilities that has is nobody else has one. Like there's not one that big, and Josh informed me, and the entire nation that size in a gym.
Crazy.
Cool.
Crazy. One last question for you. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but obviously it's a great feat. It's great to have this, but it's obviously for the kids. And just talk about how this is going to benefit the kids of Staples-Motley, not just now, but for generations.
I can't talk enough about the work ethic that our kids have and how deserving they are of a space like this. They've been doing so much with such a limited space. Like this summer, while we were having construction going on, we were fortunate enough to utilize CLC, basically a garage, to do our lifting program out of. And, they made do and they did what they could with the space. But I look forward to being able to have these kids to have a space that they can be proud of, they can appreciate, and that they can just hold value to.
Very cool. Well, congratulations, Shane. It sounded like it was an awesome event. We look forward to seeing it, CJ and I anyway, in person.
Yeah, great team effort. I'm proud of our people. We wouldn't be here without the work of everybody. So
cool.
Awesome. Thanks for the time.
All right, take care. Thanks. Yeah, thank you.
You bet. All right, Zeke, I think we've pretty much hit everything that we could hit there. We appreciate you taking the time to go out there and do the tour. I know we really had to twist your arm to get you to go do this thing.
Yeah, you did.
So one last
snow, early morning. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Exactly. One last thing before we let you go. You're our Wild correspondent. So the Wild made a trade over the weekend. Tell us what it is. Tell us if we should be excited or not.
I think we should be very excited. I think that David is going to be a huge boon for this defense, especially what's going to happen with the Parisi and Suter contracts for the next couple seasons is they're going to leave. And it's definitely a youth movement with the Minnesota Wild. I mean, they love their young guys, and when you can pair, you pair him with Brock Faber on the blue line. I mean, David, he's what, 6'4"? He's huge, right-handed shooter. He has all the physical traits that Billy Guerin wants to have on this team, and to get him for probably what's going to be a late round draft pick in the first round in 2025, because the Wild, I think, tied Winnipeg for the most points in the league with 36 with their overtime winner against Nashville. And so you're looking at maybe a long playoff run, and then it's kind of that true sending draft picks for, I don't want to say a proven commodity, because injuries and just lack of ice time have definitely hampered his time in Columbus. But you look at what's on the horizon defensively, and the Wild have had their eye on him for a long time. And I think if he has the opportunity to get out there, he's only 21 years old. Brock Faber's 21, 22, and building blocks. And the Wild got better with this trade, is long story short. A lot of teams were in on him. Pittsburgh wanted him. Didn't get him, and now the attention I know that Score North has been feeding this to their guys down there is the potential of maybe a Sidney Crosby to the Wild trade for some veteran depth. I've seen, he's signed that really team friendly deal. I think $8.7 million or something like that.
That's his tradition. So
they can bring him in, and he's the wheels are wearing down on Sidney Crosby. I don't want to steal the thunder from the trade that happened to pure speculation, but everywhere you look online, you're seeing graphics of Sidney Crosby in a Colorado Avalanche uniform. That would be the worst thing to happen to hockey, in my opinion, because Colorado Avalanche fans don't deserve a player like Sidney Crosby because they're the worst fans in the NHL. But the Wild to get him, that'd be awesome.
That'd be great. That would be great. Does Bill Guerin like trading for former Pittsburgh Penguins? Has that been something that he's done before?
A couple times, I think. Yeah. He's got some ties to that organization. He likes his guys.
Yeah. A little bit of a Marc-Andre Fleury kind of thing. So, Zeke, I know you got to get out of here. I know we want to let you get going, but me and Corey are going to talk a little Vikings once we let you go. So we're going to give you a chance. You all, are we like, I know that we're already all in on Sam Darnold, but how all in are we on Sam Darnold?
He Captain Clutch. We needed it yesterday, right? The Vikings got booed off the field after the third quarter, and something woke up in Darnold dimes there, and he got the job done. It wasn't pretty, but hey, 10-2. Here's my prediction. My prediction is the Vikings win out. They go 15-2. But they're still the number 2 seed in the NFC because Detroit's going to win every game except their last game when they play Minnesota. So a 15-win 2 seed would just be the cherry on the top of what this season.
Technically be a 5 seed because they wouldn't be a division.
A 5 seed, that's right, a 5 seed, because Philadelphia, division winners and stuff. 5 seed playing wild card weekend with 15 wins.
Going to Atlanta to take on Kirk Cousins and the Vikings like they are getting ready to do this week. Zeke, we appreciate everything you've done. We're gonna let you get out of there and get on home. Okay.
Perfect. I'm gonna grab some tower pizza. I'll see you guys back at the station in a few.
All right, bring some for us.
Will do.
All right, there's Zeke. He was at a coverage of the Nest for the morning sports desk. Corey, one last thing before we dive into some state sports here. How awesome of a facility is that?
Yeah, it looks great. I can't wait to see it in person. It's just that simple. I can't wait to see it in person.
I can't wait for you to find your broadcasting spot and for you just to be like, since I'm the first person to do games here, it is the Corey Tackman broadcast booth. I
would love, I was joking with Josh about I don't care if you, honestly, I don't care if you banish me to the corner, if I'm up on the walking track, if I'm in the, I don't care. I want to be in a spot where I can see the video board.
Yeah. So you're not going under the scorer's table where you're just like,
yeah,
every time.
Yeah, broadcasting live from center court so I can see the video board. I see the video board. That thing looks amazing.
It's awesome. I mean, there's not going to be a bad seat in that house. So I think wherever you get, if you get put in the walking track, if you want to go up on the bleachers, if you want to do whatever, it's
also courtside's awesome. So if that's where I don't care at all. I just can't wait to see it in person.
It's great. And like Zeke talked about with DL opening their court, Perham opening their court, Sabika opening their court. Monaga just opened their new court. I know it seems like a long time ago, and it was, but about 10 years ago, Pillager put out their new court, and that's been amazing for them. Like
Verndale had a new one since I've been here in the last decade.
Yes, yeah, exactly. These schools are
that wasn't that long ago.
Right, exactly. It's the facilities that are being put out there. It's just awesome, and it's great to see because obviously there's a bit of keeping up with the Joneses that goes on in anything. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's for the kids, and it's to give and I know people say, well, back in the day they did it with this and that, and that's true, and they made it work. But man, just the opportunities that you're giving these kids with gym space, with all that stuff. I mean, think about wrestling practicing. They get the new wrestling room, but boys and girls basketball practicing at the same time. You can hold dual practices at the same time. Somebody can go in the legacy gym. Somebody can go in the other one. Junior high can have their spot. Like, you're setting up room for your kids to be able to do stuff without putting burdens on it. I remember all the time for Bertha Hewitt back in the day, my mom would talk about practicing because they really only had one usable gym for practice. And it was like one had to practice before school. The other had to practice after school. And like, not that it's workable, but just to be like, after school, we have room for everybody to practice and everybody to do their stuff. It's such a thing that sounds like a luxury, and it is in a way, but just it sets your students up. And it's at the end of the day, this is all for the kids.
There's a lot of things. It's going to be safer too.
Right.
I mean, you think about that old gym, and it had a bunch of character, but one of the characteristics was if you weren't careful, you would crash into it and break a bone. There's just a brick wall waiting for you on a normal layup. So it's going to open things up and just be a safer space on top of all of it.
Right.
I'm looking forward to seeing it, man. I really am.
It's going to be great. So a lot of stuff there. And again, this is why you need to watch the Morning Sports Desk on YouTube, Corey, so you can see everything that Zeke showed us. We'll have a couple reels, obviously, probably going up on the cow that you can check out. But as awesome as it is to listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, YouTube is here as well for you to check that out. Okay, Corey, Zeke gave us our wild insight. I concur with everything he said because I don't have an opinion on anything with the Wild deeply, other than just score more goals than the other team.
Doing a lot of this year.
Yes, exactly. Like we all saw coming. Minnesota Vikings win by the skin of their teeth again. And this win is probably, we talked about it before. There's other games they've won. It's like, I know the score looked close, but they were the better team. They were not the better team for a lot of that game, and they still found a way to win. A little bit of Team of Destiny vibes here.
No, no, I'm not. I mean, they're a really nice football team.
Yeah,
they are. This is also, as I was watching the game yesterday, I couldn't help but I was just like, oh, thank goodness what I said on the Wednesday or whenever we last did the Morning Sports Desk. Like, I'm just so happy that what I said comes true every once in a while. Kyler is a really tough matchup for what the Vikings are trying to do defensively, right? Offensively, they get the ball out early, and he's feisty. Like he is willing and able to, like,
he's a playmaker
out of some trouble. They could not get to him. Every time it seemed like they were going to be close, he was able to get the ball out or sidestep somebody and buy that one extra second. It's a really tough matchup for the Vikings defense. And honest to goodness, I thought the Vikings defense, this was a bend but don't break, but they didn't break. They played generally good enough.
Red zone defense was great.
The red zone defense was obviously awesome. Things get compact. There is less time in those spots. And when they needed to get to him at the end of the game, they finally were able to get that part done. So defensively, as tough of a matchup as they're going to see all season, considering the personnel, in my opinion.
And by the way, this Arizona team, I know they're 6-6. They started out 2-4. And then they rattled out. They went like 4-1. So this is a team that,
good.
Like, it's always not who you're playing. It's when you're playing them. You know what I mean? Like, the 49ers are a much tougher team in September than they are right now. They're banged up, and they are what they are, as we saw last night. But the Cardinals are they're a nice roster. And their head coach, and Jonathan Gannon, is a good defensive mind. And he gave the Vikings a little bit of fits in the first half. A lot of the pressure that came was the fact that the Vikings just didn't know where the blitz was coming from, and they didn't know where kind of to dump it off at.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Right.
Kind of like what the Vikings defense has done to everybody else all season long.
Exactly. So this is not this is just Arizona. This is another team that's not very good. That's a nice team. And Kyler played great up until when he didn't in the fourth quarter, and he threw a really bad interception. I think he was trying to throw that out of bounds and just couldn't. Then he had a bad intentional grounding penalty when they were near the goal line, all that. Jonathan Gannon doesn't go for it on 4th and goal. He kicks the field goal. Greg Olsen did a great job explaining this on the Fox broadcast of, like, now the Vikings, like, if it's 4th and 7, which is what it was, instead of kicking a 50-yard field goal to tie and go to overtime, they're going for the win. They're going for it on 4th down. They know they got to go all in and go play for the touchdown, and they did, and they won, instead of the Cardinals trying to kick the field goal, go up 6 instead of go for it. It's a game theory bit, but the Vikings came away with the win. They're 10-2, we're 10-2 in a rebuilding year. This is awesome.
Yeah, there's some great memes going around about everybody praising the Detroit Lions and everything they're doing. Is it Tiger Woods? The Lions are 12-1. What's their record? 11-1.
Yeah,
10-1, and then the Vikings are John Daly just effing around at 10-2.
Zubas on with a big old cigar, like.
They no they played well, exceptionally well when they needed to. Another thing we talked about last week, when they're unstoppable when there's a sense of urgency.
Right. When they go no huddle, when they keep things moving, when they
Mhm.
they played very, very well. And early in the game, the Vikings, I think, tried to push the ball downfield a lot. And the Cardinals, kind of like the Jaguars did, basically were like, we're going to leave you all this open ground. We dare you to just dump it off and dink and dunk us to death. Because Kevin O'Connell and Sam Darnold like to push the ball downfield. And Justin Jefferson Justin Jefferson is a great receiver in the intermediate and everything. But like intermediate is really where his bread and butter is. And they were daring the Vikings to just go underneath the entire time. And in the second half, they started to do some of that and kind of figure some things out and get there. All this is to say, Sam Darnold is 10-2 as a starting quarterback. This isn't who do the Vikings play next year, but are we like Sam Darnold's legit, right? Like this isn't I think you should start over JJ McCarthy. This isn't like the conversation for next year. In terms of this year, he is much better of a thrower, much better of a quarterback than I think Case Keenum was in 2017. How all in should we be on Sam Darnold?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that question. For the rest of the year or for
how much? Because it feels like with Sam Darnold, everybody's waiting for him to turn back into a pumpkin and turn into the Sam Darnold he was in the Jets. Do we think that still is going to happen? Or are we like, no, this guy's just a solid, top 15 quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think he's been awesome. I mean, his numbers are just as good as Jared Goff. Like if you just want to break down stats and everybody, Jared
interception his last 3 games, by the way.
Right. So he's playing really well. There's nothing. I don't think it's any more or any less than that. Like when the Vikings signed him, everyone thought this guy had all the ability in the world. He played for the Jets. Ugh. He played for Carolina. Ugh. He went to San Francisco to just like hit the reset button a little bit and then came into a good. No one is looking back on his career, even when it before the hindsight of 12 games in 2024. Everyone looked back at his career like, it's just too bad Sam Darnold was never given a fair shake.
Mm-hmm.
Talent has always been there. The ability has always been there. But Adam Gase and the entire state of Carolina kept shooting him in the foot. It's really that simple. So he's been given an opportunity to thrive. Fortunately, he has Justin Jefferson to throw to and Jordan Addison and now TJ Hawkins. Like, it's a really good situation, and he is a nice quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Justin Jefferson, by the way, is 4th or 5th straight season of 1,000 yards.
Yep.
AJ Green, I think Randy Moss, and there was one other one who I'm blanking on, are the only other wide receivers in NFL history to do.
Maybe or Jerry Rice.
Yeah, something crazy like that. It's Justin Jefferson still elite 99 yards in yesterday's game. By the way, Corey, this is a conversation for another day, but I just want to throw this out there. Notice how the Vikings are 10-2 with Sam Darnold, and the Vikings are going to play a team next week in Atlanta who has a starting quarterback. Now, Atlanta came in with a lot of expectations on the season, and weirdly, 3/4 of the way through the season, feels like they're underperforming. They're 500. They've won some games, but it feels like they get a little weird on offense sometimes, and their quarterback had a meltdown game yesterday against the LA Chargers and threw 4 interceptions. Does that sound familiar to anything the Vikings have gone through in the last 6 years?
Well, I want to give that guy I want to give him a little credit.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give him a little credit knowing full well, how I actually always felt about him. There's another quarterback in the league who is not even a full year removed from an Achilles injury. And I think it's and learning new off. Like, I think it's just really difficult. And he is a nice player. Kirk Cousins is a nice player. They also drafted a quarterback just in case it wouldn't work out. And they have been willing to go to him twice now, I think, in the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
In the rookie. So things are not trending in the right direction right now for Kirk Cousins. But if you think he's not going to come in and play well on Sunday, you are out of your mind.
Kirk is a guy who will say all the right things, but he wants to win. Like, he's a guy who has stuff to prove, and he has had a lot of people that have doubted him.
And he's going to get the ball out early, and he's got athletes, and he's got good players that he can get the ball into the hands of. This is one of those. This is a Matt Stafford thing. This is a Kyler Murray thing. This is a Kirk Cousins thing. These guys are pros. They're getting the ball out early against this defense. For the Vikings and Vikings fans, fortunately, what it probably is going to mean is a whole load of checkdowns.
A lot. So we'll see how maybe on a 4th and 8 with the game on the line. I don't know. Maybe that's the thing that happens. This is some stuff for later in the week. By the way, a report last week, the Falcons are open to trading Kirk Cousins this offseason. This is all to say, isn't it great? Remember all the people back in March who were like, you can't get rid of Kirk Cousins. Justin Jefferson's going to demand a trade. Who's going to throw him the football? Sam Darnold. Oh, no. Just a lot of people, a lot of wailing and gnashing of teeth for, like, Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. This is not to disparage what he's done over his career. Justin Jefferson had 4 1,000-yard seasons, and Kirk Cousins is a big reason why. But like, to pretend that guy was like Fran Tarkenton walking out the door to go to the New York Giants is not the same thing. Not the same thing at all. This has been the Morning Sports Desk on a Monday, the 2nd of December. We'll see you next.
The Morning Sports Desk, available on demand on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts, and WadenaRadio.com.